I want to talk about Julius, Ashley, and Alexis in this last episode. But before I get to that, I was just working out on my treadmill and I was scrolling on social media and I noticed that Julius was live. I was like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. I screen recorded his live. I'll try to share some clips like on my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook later. I just don't have my phone with me at the time. My daughter has it and I'm on my laptop. But in this live, he said that Ashley allegedly had just gone live. I'm not sure what platform she went live on. I'm assuming probably TikTok or Facebook. I know she's been trying to build up both those platforms. But he claims she went live and she claimed that she has been with her boyfriend all day and Julius has been blowing her up nonstop. She's like, Julius, I would appreciate it if you stop blowing my phone up while I'm with my man. And Julius was like, okay, I want her to show the receipts where I've been calling because what she's saying is complete cap. He claims he has not talked to her or tried to call her. Then he pretty much threatened Ashley and said, look, you might want to chill with all this lies that you're making up about me because there's so much I know about you that I have not exposed and I'm ready to unleash it at any given moment if you keep pushing. Ashley has yet to respond, but now let's talk about this last episode. Julius pretty much left Ashley heartbroken on her birthday. She said she's never been more embarrassed in her life, and she's been through some things in her life. She said, like, the last guy that she was with, I think that she had a long-term relationship with, she found out he was married to somebody else. I think that was the guy she was last with before Julius, and then she gets with Julius, who has a whole nother girlfriend on the side. And plus, you know, there's girls that reached out to me that I've covered who were talking to Julius while he was in prison and dating Ashley and Alexis. So it wasn't just them two that Julius had on the side. But Ashley just feels like Bobo the fool. And Julius went outside and he's like, yeah, I pick Alexis. She's been there and held me down the whole time I was in prison. I told Ashley, you know, this is not what it is. I'm not your man. I don't know why you got my name tatted on you. And he said, yeah, and I'm pretty sure she's probably going to make it sound like I made her get the name tatted and she's probably going to misconstrue it. I'm like, dude, misconstrue it? I had to rewind it back a few times. I was like, wait a minute. Did this dude with his facial hair that looks like he's barely old enough to buy lottery tickets, did he really say misconstrued it? And he said that confidently too, like he really knew what he was talking about. And I love how they had to add the captions and they put the captions exactly how he said it too. I'm like, dude, Julius's last two brain cells are out here working overtime. Like, one thing we can tell is Julius did not spend his 6 years in prison reading any damn books. I can tell you that. I'm starting to think Julius might have been getting high off his own supply before he went to prison because the dude seems fried. I mean, it's okay. I have no room to talk because I pronounce words so bad. If anybody has been listening to me for a hot minute, I am fried the hell out and I constantly pronounce things wrong. Meanwhile, Alexis is back at her apartment and she calls one of her homegirls. I don't know if it's her sister or one of her homegirls, but somebody she was close with. And they're like, okay, girl, how was your first night with Julius? She's like, oh, it was great. You know, he took me to Pound Town. And then the girl on the phone was like, well, did he shoot the club up? And she was just sitting there smiling. And she was like, And it seemed like he did. And she's like, well, you know, I just don't let anybody do that. But it sounds like you definitely let Julius do it. And I just don't understand. Like, the man just got out of prison. You don't know who he's been sticking it in the past 6 years. He could have been sticking in other dudes, COs, God knows who. But I think even the worst part is, why would you let this dude that has only been out of prison for a day, he doesn't even have a job or any kind of like steady income or anything of his own, like he's literally starting from scratch, fresh out of prison, and you don't even trust the dude. She's literally sitting there questioning if he's really where he says he is. She's like, yeah, he said he was going to Tyler's, but I just feel like he's with another girl and he's not being honest. Yeah, but you're letting him shoot the club up. Like, make it make sense. You're letting him raw dog it and shoot the club up while you think he's doing it to other females. I just don't understand why she's allowing this to happen. But she's like, I assume it, but I don't know if this is what's happening. But if he is cheating, then that's a deal breaker. But we know obviously she doesn't stand on that because she's still with him. I know a few people have sent me like TikToks and clips of lies that Julius has done where he's insinuated that he's single, or when people ask him if he's with Alexis, he just kind of like avoids that question. So people are like, oh my gosh, he's single. But I'm not buying that one bit. I just feel like he doesn't want to break his NDA because he really cares about being on the show. And I feel like they're still together because they were just spotted together not even a few weeks ago at Kroger together, and she's pregnant as heck. She's about to pop any time now. And when he goes live, he was just live earlier and he was in Alexis's apartment, so obviously they're still together. The crazy part is I saw Ashley did an interview and she claimed that Julius used to tell her that he wanted to have a baby with her as soon as he got out of prison, and then he got out and ended up knocking Alexis up. I just, yes, he tries to be like, oh yes, I told Ashley the truth, but you should have told her the truth before you made the decision to be with Alexis, or when Ashley came in the picture. You shouldn't have let it get that far. You should have been like, yo, I have another girlfriend, or I'm more focused on this girl. But no, he let that jail talk sink in, and he didn't give a damn how she felt. Julius came back and Alexis was like, okay, how'd everything go? You were gone longer than you said you were going to be gone for. And Julius was like, yeah, I lost track of time. We were just kicking it, smoking, drinking. And I almost wonder if that's why his eyes are the way they are. Like, at first, I'm not going to lie, I was like, does this dude have Tourette's or something? Because his eyes always, like, I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about. They do like this really slow movement. And so I'm like, okay, either he has like Tourette's, or I think he is either so high, his eyes just do that. They get heavy when he gets super high. Or I just feel like that's his way of trying to be sexy. And one person, I think they're on Reddit or in a Facebook group, they showed a video of like the Chuck E. Cheese characters, like the robotic characters that are on the stage, that they showed one of the characters like slowly opening and closing his robotic eyes, and it looked just like Julius, I swear to God. Then Alexis was like, okay, I have this date night plan. We're going to go play some board games. And I feel like obviously production set this up. I feel like if Alexis or Julius was to choose a date, this would be one of the last things they would pick. But they end up going, and Julius kind of got a little triggered because he's like, half these games I played nonstop in prison. But they finally settled on Connect 4, and they're sitting down, and Alexis was like, I just would love to be like a big kid and play these games and just smile and laugh like nothing's wrong. But I gotta know, is there any other females you're talking to? Like, she didn't waste no time beating around the bush. She just got right to it. And he was like, and he started smiling, doing his slow little blinks. And he said, actually, yeah. She was not ready for all that. I think she thought he was going to at least deny it. And as soon as he said that, she did not know how to handle that. And she went running outside to her car crying, heartbroken. And I guess we're going to see them sit down and talk more about it in the next episode. If that was him, he kept saying, oh, you know, I had to go and give Ashley that, you know, and tell her I didn't want to be with her. Well, you didn't have to go tell her in person. I think he just went in person because he was hoping that she'd be hot or thinner than he thought she was, and he'd at least get a chance to hit. But then he realized that she didn't look like her pictures when he saw her, so he wasn't interested. That's the real reason why he went in person and jumped in that bed when he first got there. But he sat there and said, oh, I had to go there, and he didn't have to go there. And I feel like he should have at least told Alexis, like, yes, but, you know, I'm not talking to her no more. There's a girl that I let on in prison, and I went and I broke things off, and it's done. I would have just said that, but the way he just said yeah and didn't say anything else, he's making it sound 20 times worse than it is. I mean, it's still pretty bad. He literally just came back from Ashley's hotel room. But I would have been like, you know, there was this girl, but I cut things off and I'm not talking to her anymore. But he kind of made it sound like there's still a girl actively in the picture, even though he told Ashley he wasn't interested. So that's kind of making me think, like, is it just Ashley, or is there a whole nother girl that we don't know about? I mean, I don't think that would be the case. And Alexis would still stick around. I mean, if she did after he admitted that there's 2 women, then it's like, Alexis, girl, stand up. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.